Yo, what is going on, everybody? Lottery Stocks here. If you find the content great, smash the like button, get this out to more people, and consider subscribing. We are about to be at 5K subs. Okay, guys, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So today we are going to be taking a look at when AMC squeeze, or when potentially AMC squeeze. And we've been talking about this in a while, and we've been correlating the Volkswagen squeeze to the SPY, but chances are you've seen most of this on the channel. But I want to take a step back and actually just follow through with where we're at. Okay, so just a little check-in on AMC and the SPY and where we could be heading with the squeeze and the overall market. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so SPY bounced off of this $415 level again. The fib levels were perfect, and bringing that into play, we're going to map out a couple things on AMC, and then I'll show you why I have this overlaid, the Volkswagen squeeze over the SPY, of course. But first, let's just take a look and go over, the AMC basics right now. Okay, so as you guys can see, I have the weekly chart pulled up for AMC right here, and this looks a bit similar. I bet it does. All I did was, circle this, map this out just because of how similar it looked. And you could potentially, be seeing what you think for yourself to come, right? Essentially, it'd be, of course, right here. And then, you'd see it right here. But that's for you to decide. Okay, I'm going to bring us over to the 30-minute chart and kind of go over where I think we're at with AMC. So before we talked about the fib retracement levels and or the fib time zones, actually, and we're going to go over that right now. Okay, so we're going to line up the fib time zones and show you exactly where it matches up to price. And you may or may not have seen this already on the channel. Feel free, to scan forward if you have seen this. Let's remove extended hours, okay, regular trading hours. Make this a little bit more simple here. And let's go all the way back to about May of the June run-up on AMC. Okay, so if we come back over here, right, this is essentially where I want to take a look at things. And if you come back before the run to 20, or the sort of when the cycles started playing out, right? This sort of time period, and we're going to grab the fib time zones, and we're going to set these up here, right? So usually we set these up on the daily, but this is about where you're going to see them line up to. Okay, so now that we have those set up, we're going to come back over here again to the May level, where the stock was at trading in May. Okay, so let's head over to this. Right about here. Let's zoom in a bit. All right. Now, what we're taking a look at is this is May, right before the June run-up, and essentially everything is matched over, playing out in the cycle. Okay, this is what you saw where we are now. This same exact move, right? And then this chop, except right here, essentially, where you'd see this move up, right? The last time. Right now, what we're seeing is, this chop again to the downside. So right here is where everything's kind of switching up. And this is why I think we needed a checkpoint, because a lot of people might be wondering, okay, well, a lot of these stocks, I watch your channel, what's happening here? And there's a few different things that could be happening here, right? This support held back here in May. But again, it did dip below right here, well below. So what essentially you could be seeing now is just a waiting for a bounce. And of course, you could be seeing what's waiting for the same thing that happened with the Volkswagen squeeze. So right now, this is essentially what you could be looking at. And there's two scenarios here, right? So you either see the cycles play out, which would be fine. You'd see another run-up. You'd probably see gamma and FOMO and another, 5 to 1,000% run-up. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a short squeeze. We're looking for the mother of all short squeezes, right? So let's bring AMC back onto the daily chart here, right? And zoom out a bit. So what do we have lined up? Okay, what we have here is the fib time zones. Okay, timed perfectly the first run up, timed perfectly the second run up, and we're coming back up on that level again. And like I said before, right? Remember when we just talked about how, okay, back here AMC did hold this support, which is what you're seeing right about now, right? It's holding the recent support right here, but this is where it could potentially dip below to, right? This is about the lows at 1294 before you see a bounce. Not saying it could, but then essentially what you're going to see is a trail upwards, right? A trail upwards before that next move up. Okay, so this is one scenario that we're waiting for and watching out for, because right now the cycle is still in play with AMC. Now there is one other scenario, and this correlates to the SPY and the Volkswagen squeeze. Now right now you have the Volkswagen squeeze overlaid, and as you guys can see, this actually happened during the 2008 market crash. So let's go over here and let's hide the Volkswagen, okay, and let's come back to when this happened. Okay, so we have the bars lined up. This looks pretty similar. I'm not going to lie. The setup in the overall SPY right here looks about how choppy this is now. So essentially, we'll talk about what you could see, but how many points did this dip back then? Okay, so you saw about a to the lows, 65, 66 point drop. Okay, if you were to see a 65 point drop, you're about there right now, right? So if you come from the peak and look for about a 65 point drop, this is just about where we're at right now. So I assume there's already harsh pressure on shorts. But when you have these recoveries, these V-shaped recoveries, essentially what you're looking at, right? Because the market grows, these stocks grow with the market. So each dip, right, accumulating through time, they're going to have more liquidity, and they're going to be able to hold better, right? You guys can see it right here, bounce off the 200 EMA. This sunk below. Okay, we still haven't seen technically the squeeze, but this was, early 2020 when you saw things go on with meme stocks and things like that. But if you come back here, right, this actually broke well below the 200 EMA. And I think before you see any type of pressure on shorts, like right now, okay, it's looking decent. So the cycle play could follow through, like we just talked about with AMC. It's looking decent, right? But right now, the next stop you'd want to see is this come back down to the 200 moving average, right? So somewhere around the let's get the percents off here. Somewhere around the 350s, 360s on the SPY. And ultimately, what would be better is a break below this. This is what's really going to put pressure on shorts. So if you see this, this V-shaped recovery, but it actually breaks below, like something like that happened in the 2008 market crash, this is essentially what's going to put pressure on shorts. So all the way down to about 325, okay, and that's a heavy level of support. You can see it right here. Any hedge funds or institutions that are going to be able to hold there, that's going to be pretty nuts. That's going to be pretty insane. So I do think this could go one of two ways, right? Now let's bring back the Volkswagen hovered back in here, right? So this could go one of two ways. Okay, if you take a look at Volkswagen when it squoze, Volkswagen was a $5 stock, and it actually ran up to $1,000. So anybody who does say, we're not going to bring market cap into this as well, but I personally do believe AMC could hit 1,000 a share, but we're not going to get into those right now. We have videos on that, right? But as you guys can see, when Volkswagen ran up, you had this major dip right here. Okay, this is what people weren't expecting to happen. So this is, the S&P 500. And then it starts selling off harsh, right? And this is where it put pressure on shorts. This heavy candle is when things turned around. This is when things really it was institutions pretty much saying, okay, well, I'm going to get out first before another institution does, before another institution does. And then it's that sort of domino effect. That's that short squeeze effect, right? When the SPY breaks, okay, let's just use this 200 EMA as the SPY and Volkswagen, right? When the SPY breaks well below this, this is when, you know, pressure was on shorts. So what am I saying here? You're waiting, and potentially for us, I think it's a healthy thing to see the SPY sell off more. But let's bring AMC to the daily. Okay, so you're waiting for that to happen. So, okay, well, let's say these two scenarios are possible to play out. Well, when these scenarios, and you know, what's the time frame for us? And you see it right here. We've called it out, and it's still the same thing. I do believe this fib time zone is a good spot to base it off of, right? It's usually when you do see a move up, these mark it out pretty often. And this, as I'm seeing it, right, correlates to kind of where we set it up in a much larger scale. You can kind of see this happening. See this happening here. The big dips. And essentially, you know, you could be coming up to at least this zone before you see something happen, if this is just the, you know, the well trend that this is on for the fib levels. And of course you can see we got rejected perfectly there, which is really interesting. So it seems as if something flipped, and, you know, with the SPY selling off and coordinating, you're just waiting for that large move, the really large move. I think this is where we're at. I didn't want to make this update video too long, but I wanted to give people kind of, you know, calm, a little bit of relief as to what's going on with AMC. You know, we're watching it every day. It's doing this, that, third. It's moving with the SPY, then it's not moving with the SPY. And there's one thing that I wanted to go over before, you know, we close out this video, and I'm going to take out all the drawings for you. We're actually gonna, let's see, I want to put this in, let's see, I want to put this down to the 1 minute chart. Okay, let's put this down to the 1 minute, and then let's add extended hours in here. And I want to show you how, you know, just another example on how you're being played with algorithms. So if you're watching price action every day, and, you know, you're not an influencer, you don't have to report to anybody, this, that, and the third, I want you to be very careful with wasting your time. Okay, so this is AMC on the extended trading hours, and this is how algos are playing you. Okay, these early morning rips and then the sell-off. Okay, it's really simple, and whether it's flipped and it's hidden, you see it time and time again. Okay, early morning rip, sell-off. Overall, making new lows, early morning rip, sell-off. Okay, what's happening here is this is the bull trap. Okay, bull trap each morning. Not only is it bull trap, right, but it's to get bulls, apes to buy calls, and now becoming worthless, right? While algos are doing this, market makers are making money off you. That's why this no options May thing may be actually a good idea, right? And when you don't see it, you know, you're still creating this same, you know, lower lows and this downtrend channel. But overall, you can see it flipped right here. Okay, you know, sell off in the morning, rip, sell off in the morning, rip. But you're just being ping-ponged back and forth. So I wouldn't say this is the stock to play options on, not financial advice. But this is what algos and market makers are doing to you in the meantime before the SPY makes a move and before they are forced to make a move. Overall, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I haven't had the time to make, you know, a video or go live, but I've been crunched with time, and you guys will see, you know, what's been happening. I'll explain everything. It's a whole hassle. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into the video. Consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that like button. We do have a banger for 5K. I love you all, guys. Lottery Stocks out. Alright guys, to throw this in the end of the video, the merch store is live. If you want a piece of free merch, I'm going to do this, and this is the first time announcing it. If you hit the link down below, download Moomoo, It's a free stock app, and just deposit $1. You'll get free stocks. And if you, I'll get proof on my end, and I'll get my free stocks. I'm going to send you guys one piece of anything you want from the merch store, link down below. So make sure to go do that. Get your account signed up. Make a deposit. Remember, you still can trade with that money. And let me know what piece of merch you want. You can DM me on Twitter, or you can DM me on Discord. Either one of those. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Also, we have 2 members now on the channel. Shout out. I'm going to throw them up on the screen, right? You guys can already pick a free piece of merch. Please DM me on Discord or DM me on Twitter. Love you all, guys. Lottery Stocks out.